Respond to the Lord's call before the day of the Lord. Among Joel's prophecy, he has given you the autumn rains, abundant showers, as before, can also be translated as, he has first given you the righteous teacher. That is because the words autumn rain, abundant, and as before also have the meaning of teacher, righteous, and first, respectively. This prophecy is a promise that even during the curse of a vicious cycle, God will change His will and bless those who confess their sins by first sending them a righteous teacher. The Bible consistently teaches that for those who confess their sins, God will first send them a righteous teacher rather than change their circumstances. Although the Lord gives you the bread of adversity and the water of affliction, your teachers will be hidden no more. With your own eyes, you will see them. The reason why God does this is because if He instantly improves the situation of a person who confesses their sins while not laying down their beautifully decorated idols or continues to walk toward the wrong path, then it will only exacerbate the problem so that it can't be fixed. The core of the problem is not a famine of food or a thirst for water, but a famine of hearing the words of the Lord. Also, Joel prophesies that the righteous teacher will first come and teach the word. Then, the Holy Spirit will come. And afterward, I will pour out my Spirit on all people. The true work of the Holy Spirit must follow the work of the Word. That is because through the Word, the Holy Spirit turns work that could not be done with strength or might into a reality. The same work that was lamented over due to the weakness of the flesh, though the will was willing. If that happens, those who have received the Holy Spirit will be able to talk and dream and see visions about a future that will be a fulfillment of the Word. They will also live a life that is filled with joy to commit to such things. And the manifestation of the Holy Spirit will be poured out on all people, each and every person that receives the Word. This is one of the greatest changes that distinguishes the New from the Old Testament. The Old Testament was an age when God's salvation work was realized through Israel, a nation that was established by receiving their constitution, the law, during Pentecost. In that sense, the Pentecost of the Old Testament shares the same characteristics as our Constitution Day. But in the New Testament, the age that experienced God's salvation through Israel had become obsolete. It became a new age, in which each and every person could experience God's salvation by responding to the Word and the Holy Spirit. Now, the light of the Word and the fire of the Holy Spirit is manifested on each person. They saw what seemed to be tongues of fire that separated and came to rest on each of them. Therefore, each of us needs to first meet the righteous teacher and experience the presence of the Holy Spirit. However, we have the tendency to think that this challenge is not absolute nor an urgent matter. This is a big misunderstanding. That is because after the righteous teacher and the manifestation of the Holy Spirit follows the great and dreadful day of the Lord. Joel's prophecy regarding the righteous teacher and the manifestation of the Holy Spirit was initially fulfilled through the first coming of Jesus Christ and the Pentecost in the upper room. And the prophecy of the day of the Lord was also initially fulfilled through the fall of Jerusalem in AD 70. Observing the records of Josephus regarding this day when 1.1 million people were killed, one can imagine the wonders developing in the sky and the blood, fire, and pillars of smoke filling the land. Josephus laments as the following: though the Jews had seen God's clear signs of judgment, they did not recognize it like madmen, nor did they take it to their hearts. Right before its fall, for a full year, a star with the shape of a sword and a meteor hovered above Jerusalem. And ultimately, Joel's prophecy about the righteous teacher, the manifestation of the Holy Spirit, and the day of the Lord will be completed by the second coming of Jesus and by the last harvest, which will beforehand be realized by believers experiencing the revival of the Word and the full manifestation of the Holy Spirit. Maybe the recent COVID-19 pandemic is a desperate sign of judgment, warning people to respond to the call of the Lord before the day of the Lord arrives. Therefore, encountering the Word that is the righteous teacher and experiencing the Holy Spirit who allows the Word to become real are no longer a religious luxury, but a critical issue that determines life or death. How will you react to the challenge of the Lord's call to respond before the day of the Lord arrives? Joel chapter 2, verses 30 to 32. I will show wonders in the heavens and on the earth, blood and fire and billows of smoke. The sun will be turned to darkness and the moon to blood before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. For on Mount Zion and in Jerusalem there will be deliverance, as the Lord has said, even among the survivors whom the Lord calls.